Hey guys, Kiri here. In this video, I wanted to tell you guys about some of the online resources that I use to study and practice Japanese. Now, a lot of you guys have been asking for this video, which makes sense. Given the world we live in now, it's a lot easier to use online language learning resources rather than seeking out a teacher to go meet up with IRL or going to a physical classroom or something like that. Online seems to be the way to go, at least in the environment right now. I'm going to walk you through some free resources that I've used that have greatly improved my Japanese, and also some resources that do cost money, whether it be a subscription service or a one-time payment. Now, I know that cost-based resources can sometimes be scary. You don't want to throw your money at something that you don't think is going to work, but trust that I will only suggest a paid service to you if it really did help me. If I genuinely thought it helped me with Japanese, I will let you know. I don't want you to have to throw money into things that aren't going to work for you, but these things did work for me. I'll be using my phone to show you some of these resources, but a lot of the resources also have like a desktop computer version as well. So the very first resource I'm going to talk about is the Learn Japanese from Zero YouTube channel. Now, of course, this is a YouTube channel, so any video made to the public is free to click on, free to watch. And this is one of my favorite free resources for Japanese because it is ran by George, who grew up in Japan and had to learn Japanese himself at like 8 or 9 years old or something like that. So he knows what it's like to struggle through learning a language. And I think that's why he explains grammar so well and explains these complicated concepts so well. And there are hundreds of videos on this channel. He does a series where he goes through his own textbooks, which while the textbooks cost money, you can watch the videos for free if you choose to do so. And he just goes through there's like 100-something videos just based on his books. And then there's hundreds of other videos based on like kanji and other words that you'll come upon when you're learning grammar and just talking. And honestly, I've been like in trouble sometimes where like I really don't understand this concept, and then I'll look it up on the Japanese from Zero channel and George will explain it in such an easy way that I really cannot understand from anyone else. And I know that people might sometimes be a little bit hesitant to learn from a non-native speaker, but I've found it to be very helpful in terms of how he explains the grammar versus maybe a Japanese person or a Japanese native speaker who might not be able to explain as clearly the concepts. That is where George comes in. There's not much more you can ask for when it comes to just hundreds of videos on a free platform. Okay, the next source I want to talk about is Magisensei, magisensei.com. I'll put all of the links to information on all these resources in the description, by the way. This is a website that I often go to if I am going to like a specific place, like a hair salon or a hotel, and I need to freshen up on terms that have to do with those places. I will go to Magisensei. It is a very well put together, very well organized Japanese learning website. So we've got like Japanese culture and customs, daily life, shopping, just all these little specific things, even like going to a coffee shop or ordering at a fast food place. This is really good for people who maybe live in Japan or want to visit Japan and know like, hey, I'm going to get my hair cut in Japan. I need to freshen up on some hair salon vocabulary and grammar and stuff like that. You can go here. There's a bunch of stuff. Let me actually click on something. Oh, there's slang expressions too. So here we go. Like hotaru no nihongo. Okay, ignore the ad. Hotaru no nihongo. Useful phrases at the hotel. So if you're traveling to Japan and you don't want to like mess up maybe at a hotel or something, you want to use Japanese, you can just go through this and yeah, it has everything, how to check in, talking about luggage, check out, and stuff like that. I love the color schemes here. I love how well organized this is, and it's completely free. The next source I want to talk about is HelloTalk. Now, there is a free version of this and a paid version of this, but I'll get into the paid version in a minute. Basically, this is like a social media app where you can go and post in English or Japanese, and you basically input your native language and the language you want to learn. So like my native language is English, but I want to learn Japanese, and it will put all these Japanese people and Japanese posts on your main feed, and you can go in, and some of it's in English, and you can go in and correct their English if they have an English mistake, and then you could post in Japanese, and the Japanese people can go in and correct your Japanese mistakes should you have any. There's also a place for audio where people can check up on your pronunciation. You can post pictures. I learned a lot about Japanese culture on here because a lot of Japanese people just like post food that they're cooking and places that they're going. I feel like the word crush is really cute. In Japanese, we just say "skina hito," "skina hito," so it felt kind of special to me after I came back to Japan. Just really cute stuff like that and cute things to learn and stuff. My favorite thing about the app is that, you know, you can make friends, people can message you, and so far I haven't had anyone be weird or inappropriate. That could happen, but I have not had that happen yet, fortunately. Now, there is a paid version of this where you can actually like narrow down people that you're looking for. For example, if you're looking for someone in their 20s or 30s who is female, and you can also search by like area. So I've actually made in real life friends through this app. I've just like searched for where I live, and yeah, people come up, and I've met up with people in real life through this app. So, you know, you gotta be careful. I only meet up with like other females and like give her in a group and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a really good way to make language buddies, and it's free with a paid version if you want to like narrow down the search. We all need a really good Japanese dictionary. And this app, it's literally just called Japanese. If you go to the Google Play Store or you go to the iPhone store or whatever, just type in Japanese. It should come up, it should be this red color. It should just say Nihongo in Kanji. So you can just look this up. Now the cool thing about this is like there's also, you see these random letters just like passing by. You can click on them and learn a new word. So daigaku, college. So if you're just bored, just click the ryori, cooking. You can just like learn all these different words. Or if you're like, okay, I want to know the word for post office, you can like type in post office, and then it'll come up yubinkyoku, and it'll give you the kanji that's in the word, some examples. This is just a really good dictionary. You can also type in Japanese as well. So for example, if I move over to my Japanese keyboard and I type in hon, book, it will come up in Japanese. So if you want to look up things that way. So this, I think, is the best option for a Japanese dictionary. So now I want to go through some of the paid apps and services that I have used. And again, these have been really helpful to me. I wouldn't want to invest money or tell you guys to invest money into something that didn't help me. So yeah, trust me on this. Not everything will be for everyone, but these certainly did work for me. So this is an app called Bunpo. Now you can actually just type in Bunpo in the App Store and it should come up. But this app is really good for people who are going to take the Japanese language proficiency test, and sometimes it's hard to determine exactly what's going to be on those tests, especially grammar-wise. So this app is just super organized. Like for example, I'm going to be taking the JLPT N4 soon. So I'm currently going through the JLPT N4 course. And it'll have all of these like conditionals, modifying verbs, hearsay, reason, purpose, stuff like that. So for example, if I click on, let's see, experience, let's do ta koto ga arimasu, the experience of doing something. So ta koto ga arimasu is used to indicate past experience of doing something, and it'll just like take you through really good explanations for the grammar. And then after it gives you explanations on the grammar and gives you like sentences for practice and stuff, it actually quizzes you. So like, for example, this is like, ne, kono kanji no imi wa nan desu ka? And then let's see, sa, and then you gotta pick the right. Ima made mita koto ga nai node wakarimasen. He's not seen it before. So you pick the answer. It'll tell you, oh, good job, and then you can just keep going, and you just go through the whole lesson. And yeah, they have the JLPT N5 through N1. It's perfect for people who struggle with grammar. Grammar is my biggest struggle, and it's hard for me to kind of organize the grammar and make sure I'm learning it in an order that is going to be effective. So this has been really great. There has sometimes been a mistake here and there. I think this might be made by Japanese native speakers. So, you know, you'll see the occasional English mistake in here, but I think it's definitely worth it. For the whole thing, I believe I paid like $30 to have it lifetime. There's also a monthly subscription service, but you can actually go through a couple lessons or so for completely free if you want to try it out. Bunpo has definitely helped me the most with grammar, almost more than anything else. I think between Japanese from Zero and Bunpo, they've definitely helped me out with Japanese grammar the most. So if you struggle with it, Bunpo is definitely where it's at. They also have like, they have they'll teach you hiragana and katakana too, and then N5 through N1. So the next paid thing I want to talk about, I know it says Flaming Durtles at the top right there, but this is actually the Wani Kani app. Wani Kani is specifically to teach you kanji and to help you remember kanji, so you won't really get like anything like grammar out of this, but you'll learn a lot of vocabulary. I haven't really been focusing much on Wani Kani, which is why I have 244 reviews I have to do, because I've been focusing on grammar mostly for the JLPT, but this app is great if you're intimidated by kanji. I was a little bit intimidated by kanji, and then I started using this app and also writing kanji in a notebook and stuff, and I've actually learned to really love kanji through this app. Now, at first it just looks like a general, almost like a flashcard kind of type app, but it actually has really good explanations for stuff. Like, for example, kanji meaning, the meaning for this kanji is, this is axe? Yes, and it's also the counter for a loaf of bread. But like, say you get something wrong, like, okay, I'm gonna put that this means cat, even though it doesn't. If I get it wrong, it'll be like, no, this is action, gesture, behavior, show more. You can see what kanji are used to make up this word. It'll give you example sentences, and it'll give you mnemonics. So mnemonics are basically little stories about the kanji that help you remember. And this app is also just really good about teaching you like each building block for each kanji, or the radicals. It gives you mnemonics for the radicals so that you can remember, okay, this radical, I remember it because of this story, so I remember it means this, and you can use that radical as a building block to build the other kanjis. So this is a really good app. However, this is also the most expensive app that I am going to recommend. To give you an idea, it is $9 a month, or annually you can pay $89, or if you want the lifetime, here we go, the lifetime is $300. And let me be clear, this is not sponsored or anything, just to let you know. The lifetime is $300, but to give you an idea, I've been using Wani Kani for about a year now, and I'm only on level 9 out of 60, and like, I haven't like 100% put all my energy into focusing on learning kanji or whatever, but it's just, I've gotten a lot out of it for a long time. So $300 does seem steep, but if you're just someone who's really intimidated about learning not only like thousands and thousands of kanji, but also the different sounds that each kanji make and how they make up different vocabulary words, like, that's a lot to learn. Like, kanji is so hard, and this will take you through so many. I know someone who went through all of the levels of this, and now he works as like a translator, and he's N1 level, he passed N1, and a lot of it has to do with using Wani Kani. I know $300 sounds like a lot for a lifetime subscription to this, but there is a sale that usually goes on by the end of the year around Christmas, where it's usually like something crazy, like half off. So I would wait for that. I think around 150 is definitely worth it. There's also a desktop version of it, so if you'd rather practice your kanji on desktop, that works too. I know it just looks like flashcards on the surface, but the way that it teaches you every building block is actually really cool. The last resource I want to talk about, the last paid resource I want to talk about is Italki. Now, Italki the cost is going to depend on who you book as a teacher, because this whole website basically helps you connect with teachers that teach Japanese online through like Skype or Zoom. So some teachers are a lot more expensive, like maybe they'll charge like up to $30 for 1 hour, but I've seen some teachers who charge as little as like $7 or $8 an hour. So like, it has my upcoming lessons on here. I've got several coming up because the JLPT is coming up, but you can also search for Japanese teachers. And a lot of the Japanese teachers will have videos that they upload and like text descriptions about themselves. So you can watch videos to see if you think you could adjust to this teacher's like learning style and their voice and stuff like that. Not only are there community teachers, but there are also professional teachers that have to turn in their professional certification to Italki. So, if you are booking an actual teacher, like you know that you might get something good. You're not just like booking some random person who decided to make some money trying to teach Japanese. A lot of them are actual teachers. So yeah, you can go through and you can like watch their videos, and you can kind of like go through and see like this person right here, basic Japanese with Genki, with the Genki textbook. So like you could book like a 45-minute lesson. You can see here that this is their schedule. So anything in green, the dark green is where I have already booked a lesson with another teacher, but you can kind of like see what their times are and book accordingly to your schedule. So it's super convenient. I highly recommend taking some one-on-one lessons with a native Japanese speaker. It's just really fun, and it really forces you to speak and learn the language. I think sometimes we get caught up in only using textbooks and only watching videos, and we don't do enough output. And, you know, it's a lot of muscle memory, Japanese is. So this is like the perfect way to practice that. Now, I will let you know, I have an Italki link. If you click that link and you do a lesson, I think like we both get $10 or something, like $10 of Italki credit, which is basically like you could book like a whole lesson, like a whole 1 hour lesson for $10. So yeah, if you want to use my link in the description, this is not like sponsored at all. This is just my affiliate link. So yeah, if you are interested in doing like one-on-one lessons with actual Japanese native speakers, this is in my opinion, the best way to do that. I do so many lessons on here. I have JLPT lessons. I have lessons where we only just do talking, and if I maybe say something wrong, my teacher will correct me. And yeah, the interface is really nice. There's also a desktop version of this. You don't have to just do it on your phone. But yeah, you can check the link in the description if you want like a $10 of Italki credit. And then I get $10 of Italki credit, and then you can help me book more teachers so that I can pass my tests. Please and thank you. All right, guys, those are the online sources that I have used that have really helped me improve my Japanese. You know, Wani Kani has helped me so much with being less scared of kanji. Italki has been there for me to get output and to actually use my mouth to talk in Japanese and not just stare at a textbook all day long. Bunpo has been there for helping me really just get a grasp on the grammar. So I think the ones that do cost money have definitely been worth it to me. And then of course the free ones, you can never lose. You can never really lose with free sources. So check those out too. I'll put all of my resources in the description below. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful. Let me know if you guys have any online sources that you guys have found. Don't forget to like the video if you like it, and don't forget to subscribe for more Japanese adventures and language talk and anime and stuff like that. Okay, bye, thank you!